Hello there, thank you so much for stopping by. My name is ChitChad. Welcome back to another episode of Planet Coaster, where we are building a Super Mario theme park. Specifically today, we're continuing working on the Penguin Bobsled ride, the Penguin Bobsled ride being themed after that level in Mario 64, where you go inside of that snow lodge and race the penguin. I just thought that was really fun, so that's kind of what inspired the overall design of this ride, and of course, why I picked the ride system to begin with. For today's episode, we are going to be working on a couple of scenery pieces for this ride. One of the major pieces being this ski lift that we are currently building. The ski lift will have Toads and Shy Guys on them, two characters that have yet to be built as statue 3D objects in the park, so I thought it'd be a fun opportunity to build those characters. And while we're on the topic of 3D objects, there is going to be an update coming out soon for Planet Coaster, where we will be able to import custom 3D objects and 3D animations utilizing software platforms like 3ds Max, Maya, and Blender. Blender being the free option of those three, Maya and 3ds Max being very, very expensive. When I went to school for media arts and animation for the 3D classes, we did utilize 3ds Max and Maya. 3ds Max for some of the early classes, and then Maya when we got into more animation specific projects. It seemed like 3ds Max was more where they geared the game art and design students, and then Maya was what they geared the animation students in more as the classes went on. But I did get time in both of those platforms. And currently I'm teaching myself Cinema 4D, which is another platform for 3D modeling and animation. If you have the Adobe suite, if you have Adobe After Effects, you do have access to Cinema 4D Lite, and that's not one of the packages that will be able to have models brought into Planet Coaster. It's just another thing that I've been teaching myself on the side because I wanted to incorporate some more 3D objects into some of my own animations that I've been working on the side. But now that we have an official list from the developers Frontier that we can utilize 3ds Max, Maya, and Blender, I'm going to be jumping back into Blender and teaching myself some more of the core techniques, because it has been quite some time and Blender was just not one of the software packages that I use. So it's going to be fun kind of learning, because a lot of the 3D software, they kind of follow the same principles, much like, 2D animation. You kind of get the principles down and then you can just build from there. It's all of the UI stuff that really changes, and once you get a kind of a grasp on that, hopefully it won't be too much of a deep dive learning curve to get in there and start building some fun stuff. But on that topic, I do feel that a lot of people will probably think that I'm just going to start building literally everything, every custom character inside of Blender, and bring it into the park. That unfortunately is not going to be accurate. I do genuinely enjoy building these characters strictly inside of Planet Coaster a lot, just because it's fun to kind of like utilize the pieces that we have. And the process of 3D modeling just genuinely takes a really long time. And I'm not going to, import other 3D objects or stuff that have been already created or from an official source. I just don't want to do that. So if I do build anything in 3D, it's going to be my own, I'm going to build it from scratch kind of a thing. I might use reference images to build it, but it will be strictly like my own 3D object or 3D character. So I'm going to be very picky on what I'm going to build inside of 3D as far as characters are concerned, but I could definitely see myself utilizing 3D Blender in order to build custom signs or even standees or stuff like that. Just because we're got access to 3D doesn't mean it's strictly going to be just 3D characters. There's so many other opportunities to utilize 3D, whether it's building, font packages in 3D, or building, like I said, those custom signs, or even building frames for which we can, house some 2D animation. We can build different scenery pieces and stuff like that. So there are a lot of really awesome opportunities. And now that I'm kind of getting close to the end of my Bendy playthrough on the channel, that game specifically has really inspired me, and I really want to make something from it. And I don't know what yet. I don't know if it's going to be a full ride here in Planet Coaster, whether it's its own little mini project or if it would go in the studio park or just something else entirely. But I really have been enjoying that game and its aesthetic and its characters. And I think it would be a really fun opportunity to build another dark ride. But of course, I've already got so many other dark rides that I want to build, and they're all kind of spooky themed now that I think about it. Like Luigi's Mansion is spooky-ish. Bendy is spooky-ish. And then of course, I still have the idea of an Over the Garden Wall ride, just because all those like stories really resonate with me. And I don't know if it's like the spooky nature of them or if it's just kind of fun to build those kind of dark rides, but I don't know, it'd just be a lot of fun. But I am really excited to see what people are going to make from this ability to incorporate 3D objects. One of the things I've always wanted to do when I first started in Planet Coaster, one of the things I always wanted to do is like remake some of my favorite rides. And Jurassic Park, the River Adventure, has always been like high on my list. So I was always bummed that there was never any dinosaurs in this game, because I always thought that would be really fun to make. So I'm curious how long it's gonna be until someone like makes a T-Rex or makes a T-Rex animations. And I'm curious how fast this is going to just explode for Frontier now that we're going to be able to create our own assets. It's really cool. I hope this means that in the future they'll focus on, if they do any more content pack updates, that it'll be more about things that we couldn't make for ourselves, like the different ride systems, or more options for like hotels or restaurants, or even new features that are kind of along the same lines as those. So I'm curious what the future holds. It's not going to be too long from now that all of this is going to drop, so we'll see what happens. Very excited for it. Just some notes on the channel. I've been releasing a lot of new content on the channel, on the gaming channel. That includes Hollow Knight, that includes Enter the Gungeon, that includes Bendy and the Ink Machine. So if y'all have time to check those out, check those videos out, I would genuinely appreciate it. It would really help the channel out a lot. I know a lot of you really like the Planet Coaster content, and trust me, I'm trying really hard to make them and get them out more often. But if you can in the meantime, just kind of like check out that other content. It would help out the channel, maybe help us grow just a little bit. I would really appreciate it. And of course, like I said, I'm going to be trying to get you more Planet Coaster content in the future. One thing I want to note about the studio park, I've got a bunch of episodes in the can right now, ready to be edited, ready to get the voiceovers placed on top of them. And then I'm going to be working on building out the submissions that we got from our previous contest on my Discord. So if you are one of those contest winners, fret not. I am working on building out your winning entry. For those of you that don't know, I had a contest on my Discord not too long ago for the studio park where we basically had a signage contest, and the winners would have something built around their sign. So, and all the entries were really awesome. We had 3 winners, and I am working on building out those pieces. So hopefully that will drop sometime in the near future. I just wanted to get a bunch of content pre-recorded, just because the holiday season is coming up and it's going to be pretty crazy. Also, I don't know if I mentioned this on a previous episode, but my girlfriend and I did close on a house, so we're going to be moving soon, which is a huge deal. It's very exciting. I'm going to be a homeowner. I'm going to be leaving the apartment life behind, and I couldn't be more excited. A huge limitation for me personally and my creative endeavors is just the fact that I live in an apartment complex, and it's very difficult for me to record certain things that I want to record. I've gotten a lot of notes and messages about like what's going on my main channel, like why haven't I been posting a lot, and genuinely the things that I want to do over on that channel are things that I'm not able to do right now, or at least not be able to do and be polite, given the fact that I live in a small apartment complex and there's many neighbors around me and they are very thin walls. I literally can hear people talking outside when I record. Oftentimes I have to edit out background noise on my videos because you can literally hear people talking outside of my window. So it's going to be really nice to have a house and be able to record whenever I want, as loud as I want, and be able to just like work in like my own space, and it's really exciting. Also, my girlfriend is working on her streaming channel, which is going to be really cool because she's also going to have her own workspace, so we're just going to be able to like collaborate and work on really fun stuff together, and I'm just so gosh darn excited. It's going to be such a huge life change, and I can't wait. So a lot of good things are happening, and I feel like this is finally like the launching off point for what I really want to do with my creative endeavors, and I'm just so excited about it. So I hope you all are as excited as I am, because it is big news, and it means that there's going to be new content in the future, and I'm going to finally be pushing myself towards the things that I really want to do outside of like this gaming channel. Of course, I'm always going to be doing this stuff just because I genuinely enjoy playing games and having fun, and I'm hoping in the near future I can start streaming and hanging out with all of you chatterboxes, and we can, grow the community a little bit more, and I can, interact with you on a more personal level with streaming or with this new type of content. So a lot of good things happening. We're supposed to be closing in December, so that means, it might be a month or two before things get settled. But in the meantime, I've been really trying to record as much as possible so that I have content that I can continuously be pushing out. Oh, another game that I forgot that we're playing again is Jurassic World Evolution, because I just recently saw that they're adding new DLC to that game, which is really surprising because I didn't think they were going to be doing anything with it. So that's good. I think it, if I remember correctly, it's all about genetic splicing and creating like new hybrid dinosaurs, which is kind of a cool concept because that's really what the most recent Jurassic World movies have been about, is creating new crazy dinosaurs. So it's cool that we're going to actually be able to do that in the game. And I know I'm really far behind on that game because gosh darn it, it takes so long for me to edit those and record those, because like that game goes so slow when you're doing it in campaign mode. Oh my gosh, it's a nightmare. And it gets really frustrating for me sometimes. So it's nice to get an escape from it. But if you want to see a bit of that frustration, some of the more recent episodes where like everything just for me goes wrong on this current island, and it gets so crazy because I keep running out of money and I have to keep selling stuff. But it's fun. Like, I'm not saying that, oh, don't watch. It's totally fun because you're seeing me in a state of, oh my gosh, what am I supposed to do, kind of a thing. So it's good time. It's good time. I'm not saying I left the room at any point out of pure frustration, but that might have happened at one point or another. I don't know. I won't say for sure. I will not confirm the suspicions. But yeah, so we are working. I'm going to jump back into Planet Coaster for a little bit. So we are working on the ski lifts. Now, I went back and forth on whether or not I wanted these characters to actually be wearing skis. The thought was that if I did, it would obstruct the characters themselves a lot. So I thought, you know what, let's just have them on the ski lift. And I'm kind of glad that I went with that decision, because I want these characters to be as visible as possible. And the whole reason I made this ski lift was because with this specific type of coaster, it's very difficult to have scenery pieces to the left and to the right, because this ramp, essentially this giant half pipe, covers a lot of that up. So the only way to really get a visual presence is to build things up. So we have this object, the ski lift works perfectly for this. We have this thing that basically hangs over the track, which is really the only area that you can see clearly. So I think this was a pretty good choice for this ride, because I was really trying to think, what could I do? And I remember playing Mario Kart and seeing a ski lift on one of the snow levels. I believe it's the Wario themed level. I'm like, oh, that works perfectly. I can add that. I don't know. I mean, gosh, I wish I would have thought of that sooner. But I think it worked out really, really well. I did have to, change things up just a little bit because the track originally wasn't designed with that in mind. I just really wanted to build this type of ride as soon as it became available, because I just thought it was so stinking cool. And we actually utilize another new ride type for the next ride that we're working on, which will be in a couple of episodes. I think in 2 episodes we'll get to there, which is going to be in the Bowser Kingdom. A lot of people have been wanting me to build that, especially with Mario Odyssey having the Bowser Kingdom, which was very Japanese themed. Very, very cool. And I was really excited to start working on that. So we do start doing that in the next episode or so. But again, I'm really excited to be building with new ride types, ride vehicles, and just with Planet Coaster constantly coming out with new stuff, man. It's just always something new to experience. It's very, very fun. In theme park news, Disney actually just dropped a trailer for the Millennium Falcon ride over in the Star Wars Edge of the Galaxy expansion to Disneyland, and I believe they're also getting it in Disney World. But that thing, if the trailer is to be believed and you're literally going to be flipping on a bunch of switches and pressing a bunch of buttons, that's going to be really stinking cool. I cannot wait for that. It's going to be amazing. So yeah, definitely want to. That's something that would be kind of fun. I don't know if we could ever do it, but it'd be really fun to kind of make a simulator type ride, you know, a ride vehicle that just stays in place. I know we do have something kind of like that with the mechanical arm, and we have those screens that can kind of follow it, but it'd be kind of interesting to just have a simulator ride, and they would have like a bunch of loops, you know, of footage that you could just place in there and guests would go in and out. But then, you know, if you want to go super crazy and build your own visual experience and have a screen just kind of occupy that, oh boy, that would be kind of fun. It'd be a lot of work, but it'd be a lot of fun. So we're actually getting towards the end of today's video. I want to thank you all so much for watching. I genuinely appreciate it. If you got time, check out those other videos. And if you like this content, consider subscribing. It'd be super awesome of you. And thank you all so much for watching. And as always, I will chat with you on the next episode.